Hello everybody, welcome to our live stream. Sorry guys, yesterday we tried to go live. Some of you may have caught it. We had like a couple of people on there, but we were out of town and we were driving our way in. That's how you say that, right? We were coming back home and
we were.
Yeah, the internet was so spotty. We were hoping that we would be able to make it work, but it didn't. So now we're here today. I don't know what Joe's doing.
I'm trying to adjust the camera to make sure that your beautiful face is in there.
I can just scoot in. Would that help?
Maybe, I don't know. And let us know, those who are watching, if any background noise is too loud. We're in our carport and we've got the portable air conditioner unit that is running and it's a little humming, and I don't know how it is
for you guys
through here. I've noticed that when I do recorded content that it's a little annoyingly loud, so I've got to start cutting it off when we record.
Thank you, Mary, for letting us
awesome.
know that you can hear us loud and clear. That's awesome. We'll try to speak a little loud as well so that you can hear us. So like I said, I'm so sorry that yesterday we tried to go live. Some of you tried to catch it. Hi, Lisa. I think Marie also commented. So, yep. All right, cool. We just couldn't get it, but that gave you guys time to give us some questions. We got a few questions about liquidation. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment. We're here to have a conversation. I know a lot of times we post these videos and it's a lot of really good information, but if you're wanting something a little more specific or you wanting us to expand on anything, this is the perfect time to ask those kinds of questions. We're working on trying to figure out how to interact with you guys more, to share what we know. We're by no means like experts on liquidation, but we've been doing it long enough and we've learned some things. We also have, backgrounds in business and things like that. So that really does help with everything. So we've been getting a lot more emails than we have previously.
A lot more emails. We've
I wonder if
gained a
it's-
lot of subscribers.
Yeah, I wonder if it's
lately
like
also.
Yeah, with the growth and things like that. So I'm not sure if that's what's going on or what, but we've been getting a lot of emails and a lot of people are asking very similar things. So I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do. If you guys have any ideas, maybe if we did something more, conference call-y, or we did some kind of like some classes or an ebook. I don't know. We're working through some things, trying to figure out how we can get the information that we have and make that easily accessible to you guys. But as of right now, we feel like these live videos are really helping people. So we do have some questions that people have been asking. We're trying to stay along maybe some kind of theme, but if you guys have any questions and you want us to answer or talk or explain
Any questions, really. It doesn't have to be liquidation related. If you want to know, like my favorite color, it's blue, or something like that.
you can ask a question about my favorite color.
Purple, pink, yellow.
Purple.
Is it purple? Good. Score.
Yes, yeah.
So, and we thought also, since we get a lot of the emails, that we're trying to answer a lot of the email questions in video format because they're very good questions. And we thought, why just answer it to one person when we could answer it to a wider audience? So
Yeah, and I think also one thing we really want to make sure that you guys know, and we talk about this a lot, but I just want to put this out there. Anyone who's been in liquidation, who has been a reseller, can vouch for this. Your business is not going to look like ours. We're not trying to replicate our business with you. Your space that you have available, how much capital you have to spend, and how much time and your actual location relative to where you can source your products. All of this stuff is going to play a really, really important role in how you organize your business to make it work for you. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you, well, this is what we do and this is the only way that it works. But we can have a conversation about, okay, well, how much space do you really have? If you're thinking about what liquidator to buy from, or if you're thinking about, expanding, or if you're thinking whatever it is that you're thinking about, it really boils down to three things: time, space, and money. And those answers to your specific situation is going to play an important role on what decisions that you can make. And those decisions might be different than ours. So that's one of the reasons why we like to go live and we like to have conversation with people, because there are unique,
very unique.
Everybody's business is going to be a little different, and it's what works for one person won't work for another person.
Yeah.
So do you want to dive in with some of the questions we already have while people are thinking about what questions they might want to ask?
So I forget who it was, and I'd made a post in our community, the YouTube section. I don't know if you've seen it before. It has a little community area where you can make posts, share pictures, share videos. I'd share on there that we're going to do a live video this week, or a pre-recorded video. We end up doing a live today. So if you have questions, to put it in there, and we'll probably start doing those each week. So that way you'll be able to put questions in, because I have no idea when we're going to be able to do live videos.
We're working on it.
We're trying, but at the same time, we've got, like, you guys are important to us, but we don't have a routine right now. We haven't had a routine since COVID-19 started.
Yeah, everything got thrown out of that.
We're really trying.
Yeah.
So the first question, I guess it's a long question, so it's a multiple layer question that is in here.
It's a good one. It's a good series of questions, though.
But it says, me and my husband just started our business, and right now we are in the beginning stages of buying wholesale and figuring it all out. I have so many questions, but I truly understand mistakes makes us grow. However, my question is, when buying new wholesale lots, and I assume they're talking about liquidation lots, is it best to take the most expensive items to eBay and Amazon, and maybe the cheaper items to the flea market where they have a rented space? So, great question. So, question is, when buying liquidation lots, do we send the most expensive items to eBay or Amazon, and then least expensive items locally? It's not a cut and dry answer.
It is not.
And the reason, I'll give some dialogue to it, is there are certain items that we can get more money locally than we can on eBay or even Amazon. Is that things that people want now in our community? We have a very strong Facebook marketplace climate where there's a lot of items we can get more money here locally than on eBay. So I'd say, if you don't have a strong Facebook marketplace market, or you don't even want to go to Facebook marketplace, then obviously the more expensive items go to eBay and Amazon, because they have a much larger audience of buyers to be able to pull from to buy those items. And also, I mean, generally, if you price it right and it's a popular item, it's going to sell probably a lot faster on those two platforms than it would be locally. But then again, it just depends if you have a strong climate in your area.
I think another thing you also want to think about is the cost of, when you're weighing how much money you can make. We have expensive items in our flea market booth. And the reason why we chose that is, for one, it is a storage space. We do operate out of our garage, so if we do want to get some of these bigger items, some of the more expensive items out of the way, then we can post them on Facebook Marketplace, and we can have them pick it up at the flea market booth during their normal operating hours, and that's very helpful. But also keep in mind that some of your more expensive items may be bigger or heavier, so it's going to cut into your profits to ship those items. So it's kind of a balance. It's okay if I sell this locally, and that's going to depend on your location. Are you rural? Are you urban? Like, where are you in this? Like, how big is your population of people? How many people are going to be exposed to this product? And how likely are you going to be able to sell it at a price that brings you profit? And so you kind of got to balance a lot of things here, and sometimes it's a trial and error thing. I've got a couple of mirrors in my flea market booth, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to sell those, because they've been sitting there for a long time, and I'm just going to start lowering the prices. And that's one of those things where it's like, well, it's not selling. Should I try someplace else? And I'm like, look, these mirrors are heavy and they're huge.
We're not going to ship them.
We're not going
to
be
a pain in the butt to ship.
So we're just going to slash them, and we're just going to keep slashing that price until somebody comes and gets it. And that's it's a trial and error. And I think one of the beautiful things about liquidation, when you resell, you already know how you're going. Like, you go out, you're thrifting, you're doing estate sales and all that stuff. The stuff that you're buying, you're already coming up with a plan. This is, you're gonna have to flip your attention, because you're gonna bring products in, and now the challenge is, how do I move those items? You don't already know when you first come in. And I think a lot of people, they they don't want to buy liquidation because they don't know how they're going to move it, and that's scary. And I get it, but it's just a different way to solve a problem. It's it's just a different process. And if you can move your mindset to knowing that the challenge is how am I going to move this item for the most profit instead of the opposite way, which a lot of resellers operate that way.
And we understand, like, a lot of resellers who sell online is they don't want to talk to people, they don't want to meet people. They do it for the convenience so they don't have to leave their house. So if you're that kind of person, well, then automatically you're going to sell eBay and Amazon. And then I guess the second part of that question was about putting lower priced items in a flea market booth, and we recommend that. I mean, if it's anything really under, and it depends on the item. If it's an item like, say, I don't know, this little drill bit thing, just using it for example, it may sell for $10. Like, if it's just one of these, I only have one, then I'm not going to put it on eBay. I'll probably try to put it in my flea market booth. But if I have 10 of these items, a multiple quantity listing, I would probably put it on eBay versus trying to put it at the flea market booth, because that's a lot of items to try to sell in that one space.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that do flea market booths that say, you want those cheaper items because they pay for your rent. The more expensive items are the things that that make you profit. I have a mentor in my flea market booth. She works at the flea market booth and she teaches me all these things, and she says, you do want to have smaller items because those are the things that draw people into the booth. They're looking for a good deal. That pays your rent. Once they're in there, then they can see all the bigger priced items and the things that they really want, the things that they may really be looking for, and those things bring you profit. So yeah, inexpensive items, if you can put them in there, absolutely put them in there.
Yeah, and really, I don't even like to put anything, if it's $20 and under, it's going to the flea market booth. And really, if it's $30 under, I don't want to meet somebody locally for $30. If it's $30 and it's easy to ship, like first class mail, then I'll put it on eBay. But if it's $30 and I'm going to have to pay, $8-9 for shipping, and it's cutting into my margins, and I'll just put it in the flea market booth.
Yeah, I've been going to CrossFit, like my shoulders are looking real good.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. It's like
Yes. And then the last question they had, it says, do you guys recommend as beginners to start off slow to figure things out, or given the opportunity on a good lot to go for it?
You want us to tell you a story?
And it says, recently I feel I have so much product coming in but not enough going out. So my philosophy is always be ready to buy. Always be ready to buy that opportune pallet, that opportune lot that is a great deal, or it fits your sourcing strategy perfectly. Is that you always have to be ready to pull the trigger, meaning that if you are sourcing online and you're buying lots and buying pallets, is that you're looking every day to see what's available now or what's coming available in a couple of days, because you never know when you're going to have that perfect pallet, that pallet that you thought would go for so much more, but it's going for a lot less. So always be ready, but we recommend going slow. Like reselling, it's a long game. Like it's a, when you think of retail stores, is that they do their buying pretty much a year in advance. Like they're buying now for next summer. But reselling, you don't really think about it. You just think, well, I'm buying for like right now. So starting off slow and making sure that you're going slow and steady, it's going to allow you to create systems that are going to create long-term success than trying to run out fast and get a lot of stuff, because people get burnt out. And the faster you run, the more you're going to get winded. And it's the same thing for reselling.
Well, and another thing, this is experience talking. With going, just trying to go out and go very, very quickly. Joe knew more about liquidation first than I did, and so I just kind of went with the flow. But we realized very quickly that when you are going very, very fast and you're like, I'm just gonna get all this stuff, we're gonna buy truckloads, we're gonna do all this stuff, and we'll figure it all out when we get there. What ends up happening is that decision that you make right then and there, and I'm not trying to scare anybody off, I'm just trying to be very think through the sale. think through the sale, because when you start saying, "Oh yeah," and then we can move this stuff in Facebook Marketplace, and we can put this over here, because that's what we did. We bought 12 pallets of Amazon small box items, thinking that we could just sell them on eBay, no big deal, and that's it. That's as far as we thought about them, but didn't realize that a lot of these small box items would actually cost us money to ship, to get them to the so that's when we had to make another decision of, okay, we've made this bad decision, now we got to try and make another bad decision, or another quick decision to try to move this stuff quickly, because if we don't start making money on this as soon as we get it, then our cash flow starts stalling. So what ends up happening is you start stagnating your business, and then you start having a hard time moving product. When you have a hard time moving product, you can't buy more product. So now you're stuck with all of this stuff. If you go too fast and you don't know exactly, you don't really know how you're going to move it. Solve one problem at a time. When you get your lots, right, and you bring them in, figure out how you're going to move those items, and then your goal is to keep things moving. You want to keep your cash moving. And if you go too fast, it's going to be a lot harder for you to keep things moving, especially when you don't have a clear-cut path on how you're going to move those items. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense to y'all.
I think it's just, there are many different philosophies when it comes to acquiring new inventory. Is that some people, they only acquire enough inventory that they don't buy more until what they have is listed. There's some that they, like with a lot of our items, like electronics items, that we can wholesale and buy like 20 of the same item, that we like to have normally. And right now it's different because of COVID-19, and there's inventory issues amongst a lot of areas in wholesale, that we would like to have 2 weeks of inventory on hand at all times. And that way, 2 weeks of inventory, we've got it that way. If there's nothing available for a week, then we're still good, but we're also not over purchasing at the same time. So many different philosophies, but I think with anybody, the more stuff you have, the more overwhelmed you get. The more overwhelmed you get, the less productive you become, because everywhere you look, you're like, oh, I've got to do this. And then you look over there, like, I got to do this. And it becomes counterproductive. So slow and steady wins the race, that you're building sustained for a future. You're not trying to run out fast, but at the same time, be ready to buy something if the right opportunity comes along that you don't want to miss up on. So
y'all are quiet today. Last time we were on here, we had lots of questions.
Yeah. So I guess the next question another person has
had.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Is they say, we have been buying lots because we live in a residential area. We are hoping to move to pallets, but the shipping and fees are intimidating because the lots that they purchase are free. And yes, shipping on pallets to residential is expensive and intimidating, which is why we don't really like to buy less than 4 at a time when we have them delivered. We never go and pick up any because it's so far away for us to be able to go. Like, it's 6 hours, 5 hours, five and a half, 6 hours are the closest liquidators to us that we can go and pick out pallets and purchase. But for us, it doesn't make sense to do that. So we purchase online and have them delivered. And residential fees are very expensive, especially when you need a lift gate. Then it gets expensive. So when you do so, make sure that you're able to purchase 3 or 4 pallets at a time. If you can't, then expect lower margins, a lot lower margins, because it could cost $250 to have 1 pallet delivered, and you may have only paid $400 for it. So that increased your cost like 50% just off the top. But shopping around and having the right carrier, the right freighter can save you some money. So go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're going.
No, so what we recommend doing is, wherever you are, look for local freight carriers in your area or your state that you can contact to try to get some negotiated rates with that may be lower than what the liquidator can offer for shipping.
And make sure that when you decide to bid, that liquidator will allow you to do your own shipping, because there are some, especially with COVID-19 too, there are some places that will not allow. So make sure you call them and say, hey, before I place my bid, can I do I have to use your carrier, or can I, what am I trying to say? Can I arrange my own freight?
Yeah, it's like with liquidation.com right now, they're not allowing combined shipments. So normally liquidation.com has pretty good shipping rates, but because of COVID-19, they have policies that don't allow you to combine pallets. So what normally would cost like $300 to have 2 pallets shipped, it's going to cost like $500. So having a freighter, one that you have that you're able to have pick up your pallets, you could combine with them, but for some reason liquidation.com can't do it. But I totally understand it can be very intimidating, the cost, and it's a lot different buying pallets of stuff where you're spending $400 or $500 at one time versus going thrifting or garage selling and spending $100 and getting so much stuff. It's different, and that's why it's a different sourcing method. If you enjoy shopping and you enjoy doing those sort of things, and you live in an area that's rich in that type of sourcing method, then go and do that for sure. But if you don't like shopping, like Jessica and I, we don't like shopping. We don't like it. It's a lot of we just hate shopping. It's not something that we like to do.
We actually went shopping. We went out of town, and we were like, oh, we're gonna go to the outlet mall and see if we can find some like workout clothes for CrossFit or whatever. And we show up, and we're like, I hate this. I don't like this. We ended up leaving without buying anything.
We didn't buy nothing. We're cheap anyways. When I say we're cheap, I don't know. We place a different value on stuff than a lot of people do. So like we didn't find the value in it, so we didn't buy anything there. Shannon asked, would you risk buying them blind? Meaning, I guess, sight unseen, for not knowing exactly what's in the pallet. We buy a lot of ours blind. I guess semi-blind,
Semi-blind.
Semi-blind.
One eye closed.
Well, it's like, because we buy a lot from liquidation.com because they have particular pallets that we like. It's a shelf pull, Amazon shelf pull pallet. That depending on where they come from, like the one in Dallas, they give 3 pictures. One that's like kind of this way. I don't know how to...
This way?
Yeah.
Face front.
Really, yeah. Looking at the pallet from afar, then one overhead, and then one like diagonal. So you can kind of see what's inside of it, but not really, only that top layer. But if you've watched our unboxings, is that it's the stuff underneath that you have no idea. But like the Las Vegas location, their pictures suck. So you're almost buying it blindly. But then you go by the dimensions of the pallet, how big the pallet is, the measurements. You know that the pallet long ways is 48 inches, and then the narrow way is 40 inches. So you can kind of get a ruler. I always get like a piece of a Post-it note, and I'm like measuring the pallet, like, oh, that pallet's 6 feet tall because that's 48 inches, and then I do it that way, it's about that much. And then also the weight, because they give the weights of pallets, so you can kind of get ideas. Is this heavy items, light items?
Then we did talk. I have posted in a video recently, or not recently, a while ago, talking about what I look for in pictures. So we definitely don't buy blind in that we buy where we don't see any picture. We just call and say, hey, put some pallets on it. We don't really do that. But what we do also do, I don't want to say do because he's gonna laugh. What I do also do is we do look at the weight. We do look at the dimensions of the pallet, and then sometimes you can pick out words on there. It's very rare that you can do that, and I try to figure out what those top pallet boxes are worth just to see. So.
And then she has a follow-up. I guess they do. It's a pre-sale orders. Ooh. So then they have like each pallet is given a number or something, and then they raffle it off. I don't know. That's very interesting.
That's interesting. I've never seen that before.
It would depend on the load, what type of pallet it is, like which.
Where did it
retailer,
come from?
Like, is it Walmart in-store, Walmart.com, Target in-store, Target.com?
Is it shelf pulls? Is it returns?
And then also how much the pallet is.
Yeah.
I think that really depends for us what it would be. Amazon customer returns, and I would say, is it the high piece count ones or the larger, what they call medium box. Some people call them general merchandise giants. So it depends which one. And those are all, it's a luck of the draw anyways. That's why we haven't bought some of those, because I want to see them, because a lot of times you can tell.
They're larger items.
Yeah. With that, I would probably do it with that. I mean, obviously if I could see it beforehand, it would be better, because you can look at some boxes and see what might be on there.
As long as you have a way to move them.
Yeah.
As long as you have like a local, like if your Facebook Marketplace climate is really good, or if you've got a flea market booth or something like that, I would not recommend it if you're only doing online sales, because shipping is going to eat up the cost. So you'd be battling that the pallet may or may not be good, and then on top of that, if it's not good, and then you don't have a place to move it, like you'd be out money.
Yeah.
So.
And I might have to look up that place in OKC, because I've been looking for some of those pallets for a while. So
oh, that's not bad. I would do that. Yep.
$2.95 a piece. Yeah.
And local
Can you
pickup.
send us an email?
I would do that. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
You can make your money back.
I don't know how
easy.
tall they are. Are they the 7 to 9 feet ones?
They're probably 6 feet.
And,
and then there's somebody else who had a question. Don't forget when we got to scroll back
so
up.
Sarah Resell, I'm glad that you caught a live video, because you've been asking lots of great questions on our videos that you've been watching. So I appreciate the interaction on those. Yes, Shannon, I would do
and
it.
then email me.
And then tell me where you're buying them from. And I won't tell anybody else, because those are...
She said they were out of Oklahoma City, I think.
Yeah. Sarah says, how many items do you average moving per week for a full-time income? How many hours a week do we work total between the both of us and employees?
Okay.
Now or before? It really depends, because now, and really since COVID-19, like it's just been Jessica and I, really. Like we furloughed Whitney. Like she comes in every once in a while and works. We're getting more inventory for her to list now. But before, in a normal situation, like when we are going and going for it, she worked 40 hours a week. And she would list mainly cell phones, and she would list probably 125 to 175 cell phones per week. That was the goal. And then I was working around that time, probably maybe 30 hours per week, maybe 25, because it's a little bit different, because we do a lot of YouTube videos that we make $1 an hour at.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great money.
But for full-time income, like Whitney, for our income, and I guess it's different, you know, because we live frugally. Like we like a simplified lifestyle.
We don't buy like name brand stuff.
It's like we don't have a car payment. We have a house. We don't have a lot of bills. We don't have really credit card debt. We live frugal.
We don't live outside of our means really either. So, you know, and that's the thing. It's like for us, our lifestyle is a little different than a lot of other people. There's that one, and then mine also, Shannon. But
we were with that lifestyle, you know.
We don't need a lot of stuff.
What we were selling, you know, we were doing $16,000 to $20,000 a month, with Whitney working full time, and then me working 25 hours a week, and then Jessica, she, you know,
20 to 30. It depends on homeschooling.
But
and
that
the
would be
kids
really involved with more YouTube and not so much hands-on in the business.
Yeah, and then also keep in mind that, you know, I am a doula, and so I do have clients that I do from time to time as well. So it's, you know, I kind of split my time between the two of them, and then being a parent.
Yeah. But then locally, you know, with Whitney, and then my goal is, you know, about 100 items a week. When we have them, now we have them, but we don't list it all online. So it's different, because the pallets that we're buying now, they have an average sales price between $60 and $80. So we don't have to sell very many of those to do $1,000 a week. So, you know, that's us, but that's our model. We don't have a lot of overhead. But you can, you know, we have a virtual assistant that lists a lot of cameras and a lot of other stuff that we have that we sell on eBay. and he works, however much we need him. It just depends on a weekly basis. So
see.
I don't feel like I've fully answered your question because
If you need follow-up,
right now,
it's just really hard to answer that question
because
right
of where
now.
we're at right now.
And that's the economy
Yeah.
and COVID and all of that as well. Like
Yeah.
all of that put in together.
Because like right now, like we're not pushing real hard. Like we're not trying to grow our business right now. We're trying to maintain because we really don't know how things are going to be in a month from now or 3 months from now or 6 months from now,
Right.
especially as people's stimulus checks are they're dried up, the unemployment money, the extra unemployment money that people are getting, that there's just so much uncertainty. There's a lot of businesses that are still open that are going to be closing down over the coming months. So we really have no idea how the economy is going to be. And we're not in a growing mode with that. Like we're in a let's stay where we are. Let's take advantage of opportunities with buying stuff as it comes. But let's put money in the bank and money in our pockets and have that in case we need it later on. So
NYC Life says, hey, how are things? I do it as a family business well for the last 20 years. eBay has been very good to me. Make a mid six-figure net income doing it. Very cool.
yeah,
That's
and it's
awesome.
very possible.
Oh, but the hustle is real. He does
It
it
is.
6 days a week, 14 hours a day, and have over $10,000 items listed at all times. Wow,
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And
Do
like
you have any family in Tulsa?
no family in Tulsa
Sorry,
that I
Shannon.
know of. I have a doppelganger. Doppelganger? Is that right?
Well, okay, so
Doppelganger.
he was born with 3 other cousins, and 3 of them are male, and they all grew up to look exactly alike. I've been to
Nah. One of them, he's got a really long neck. And he
okay,
looks
but they're
nothing
like
me.
they're very. I think they all look similar.
No.
I do. I think
One
so.
does, but one doesn't.
I think they all have like
He's
the
got
same.
a very long neck. Very long. Maybe that's my female cousin. I don't know. I haven't seen him forever.
Okay.
So,
And then where are we at? What's
see, in
up,
NYC, like
yesterday?
you've got, like we don't like to work that much. We like to work, and I say like we're lazy, but
We're
we
not
don't,
lazy.
I used to work 100 hours a week in the restaurant industry as a general manager, and I want to work and have things, but we've adjusted our lifestyle to make it to where we don't have to work as hard and so much.
Before Joe and I got married, we had a lot of conversation about what we wanted our life to look like. And we both had this very, very similar dream of really living this simplified life. I worked in retail and managed retail for pretty much as long as I had been working. And then Joe was in restaurant business forever, and it was just so fast paced, and there was never any time for anything. And I was a single mom at the time because Jolynn came from a previous relationship, and I always felt really guilty that I didn't always have a lot of time with her. And I've always wanted to be a homeschool mom and all of those things. And so Joe and I sat down and we're like, well, what do we really want that to look like? And we realized that in order for us to be able to do that, we weren't going to have a plethora of money. We weren't going to be the kind of people that could have the nicest stuff all the time, and we had to decide, is that worth it for us? Like, is it okay for us to say no to some of the nicer things, or some of, not always having everything brand new or name brand, for us to be able to afford to stay home with our kids and to be there with them, to homeschool with them. Joe homeschools as well in the afternoons and things like that. And so to be able to live this life where we're all home and we're together and we're gardening together and doing, like, I don't know, crunchy stuff. I don't know. Just that kind of life where, if we're super stressed out and we just want to be with our kids, we can take an afternoon and go to the park. Or, well, we can't do that now, but you know what I'm saying? Like, all that. And we had to decide that. And that was something that we decided to do. So we don't work very long hours. We are successful, what we consider to be successful.
Yeah.
Other people may look at us and say, well, you're not making as much as I thought you would. But if we did pull 40-hour work weeks apiece and we busted it and we did that, we absolutely have the business model that could support that. But remember, we had a warehouse. And one of the reasons why we decided not to get to continue with that warehouse was because it was taking so much time away from our family, and we found ourselves stressed and tired. And we're like, what is this? This is not the life we wanted to live, and we can't. I don't want to continue doing this. So as soon as we had the opportunity to shut it down, we did.
Success is not found in how much money you make or how much stuff you have or what your sales are. Like, that's not success.
For us, personally.
For us, success is found in you choosing your ideal life, and the success is found in how close you can live to that life that you want, and that's what we want. So I don't know, for us, like, I had some good stuff I was gonna say. I was gonna say, just with that, you know, it's like my parents, you know, they worked hard. I remember growing up that my dad almost always had a second job. They owned a laundromat for a period of my life. That they wanted things. They wanted to provide a good life for us, to have stuff. Like, you know, I remember my dad, I think I was probably 12 years old, and I wanted the Reebok pumps. And so my dad, you know, we didn't have money, but he went and got the Reebok pumps for me. You know, I wanted Nintendo. When Nintendo came out, I remember I was at the Walmart in Sherwood, Arkansas, and me and my sister, we seen the Nintendo on the Action Alley, and like, "Ooh, Mom, can we have that?" And
Giving
she's
away
like,
his
"No,
age.
we can't have any money. We don't have money." But my dad went and got it, you know. But I remember that stuff. But I also remember, like, I didn't really do a lot of stuff with my dad. You know, my dad's gone now. He's 50. He was died when he's 54. But there's so many people. I mean, Gen X, like, that's what, like, Gen X baby boomers, that's the lifestyle. Like, you work hard, you buy stuff for your family, you want to get nice stuff for your kids. But at the end of the day, like, when your kids are old, like, I bet they would tell you, I wish I would have had more time with my dad than that Xbox or that new pair of shoes. So that's what we try to do. So, is to provide that with them and not so much worried about the stuff.
Ryan Hutchinson, they're homeschoolers and full-time eBay sellers as well, and just started the YouTube thing. That's really cool. That's awesome. How old are your kids? That's cool.
And then EDX Gamer 1 says, where we mostly get our pallets. We get a lot of pallets from liquidation.com. We have another source that I'm not willing to give out over the air.
Just yet.
If you want to email me, you can, and I'll give it to you. But there's some things that I believe as resellers, that there are too many YouTube resellers that give away too many secrets, and we're not willing to do so. We're not willing to. She always gets this look on her face whenever I start talking about that kind of stuff. Just, you don't need to give all your secrets away to get views. You don't have to, because people are going to watch you not for, you know, that secret information that you're giving out, but they're going to watch you because, you know, you have a pretty life.
I struggle with this. Really, thanks. But I really struggle with that because I am a very relational person, and I have to. I really want to help and be helpful, but also know that I have a business to protect. So he keeps me in line there, because I would just give away everything.
And there's some people that do, and I'm like, why?
And I get why.
Why are you giving out that source?
You know, it's just the desire.
For the 300 views that you're going to get on YouTube?
No, it's the desire to be helpful. I want to be helpful. Yeah, so we find other ways.
Ryan, do YouTube reselling. Don't give away all your secrets, because in the end, your audience, they're going to like you for you, not for the information that you give them. So that's my opinion anyways.
Hey, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. Let's see.
6, 5, and 1. Ours is 7, almost 8.
I can't believe she's almost 8.
I know. 8, almost 4, and then 2. So around the same. It's hard. 6, 5, and 2.
That's a
yeah.
Whew. Y'all are awesome.
Yeah.
Y'all are awesome. Let's see. Where we at? Where we at? Lisa says
hello,
happy.
Tommy and Destiny. Hello.
Hello. Y'all are always so supportive.
Yep.
And Lisa says happy belated Father's
Thank
Day.
you, Lisa.
She's super supportive.
I was missing my dad a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
It was, man, I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about something else. I might cry. It'll be 12 years next month. And
Shannon agrees with you, not giving away your secrets. That's why she gets iffy, but you share your source, I'll share mine. Got it. We'll do it. You email us, we'll give you ours too. It says, Sierra, first time stay-at-home mom. Really want to get into this. Saw on Liquidations they had diamonds and stones up for auctions. Is it a bad idea to try to get them? Diamonds and stones?
I don't know, man.
I don't know anything about diamonds and stones.
No.
Are there any resellers on here that know anything about diamonds and stones and gems and things like that.
My gut says no.
Because it's such a precious metal thing.
And then you have to worry about counterfeit. And there's so much counterfeit goods out there that.
I mean, there might be somebody on here that says, "Hey, like, absolutely do it," or whatever. They may be able to tell you more about it. But the way I think about it is just that's a lot of risk.
Yeah.
That's a lot of risk.
We like to buy stuff that people need.
That's true, especially right now.
That, granted, like we like to go for things, we say need. That in any time, like we're headed for a recession. I don't know if y'all didn't know that or what y'all feel about it, but we're headed for a recession. We've been saying this for a very, very long time because of like Americans cannot continue with their buying habits, that it just can't continue. So we were headed for a recession before everything got shut down. And when you do say that in recession, people, they're still going to spend money, but they're going to be more bargain shoppers. That they still may go out to eat, but they'll probably will go to a lesser expensive restaurant.
Order waters.
They'll order waters. They'll
Skip
still
dessert.
gonna, buy some home decoration for their stuff, but they'll buy used or they'll try and find the bargain stuff. So it's those things that we try to find that are kind of want items, but they're need for some people.
And see, I think that's a big thing of why we're so successful. As a team, we work really well in this area because I have a degree in psychology and human behavior. He has a degree in business. So knowing people's behaviors, even in the midst of a recession, people's habits aren't going to change unless they make a conscious effort to change them. And a lot of people will not do it. Just because they don't have as much money as they did before doesn't mean that their habits are going to change unless they're making a conscious effort. And a lot of people aren't going to do that. So they're still going to want to shop. They just might change how much they shop, how often they shop, or what they're shopping for, but they're still going to shop. So it's one of those things where it's like, you got to be real careful. A really smart thing to get into right now is to try to source items that are replenishable. Try to source items that people will need regardless of whether, that happens. And that's hard to find as well. So I find in our area, because we are slightly rural.
We're not, our community
rural,
isn't real affected,
like,
hasn't been real affected by by everything being shut down. Like we're in central Arkansas. Like our governor,
we can't talk today.
He didn't shut down everything. There's some non-essential businesses that were shut down, but everything is up and running now. Just people are wearing masks and such. Mm-hmm. So they haven't really been affected our area. So it's different for that. So yeah, Sarah Resell says, that is great. I gave up a well-paying job to stay home with kids and homeschool. It felt like choosing stress and money or my family.
Yeah, we felt the same way.
We want a simple life, but need to ramp up reselling to sustain. And
that's the thing. The thing with us is like, and we're still like, we just told y'all earlier, we're just being real honest. Like our routine has gone out the window, and our sales have.
Yeah.
Our sales have shown.
Yeah.
That, I mean, yes, some of it is the economy. Some of it is like, yes, this is what's going on. But a lot of it is, we can't take our kids to the things that they normally need to go to so that Joe can get work done. There's just a lot of things happening. We can't, it's just a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So we don't have a routine either in our.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like when you have so much freedom that resellers do, that you have to be so disciplined and get a routine, especially with kids. Like, I don't know how old your kids are, but I know when our kids are in a routine, we are the most successful in our business. When our kids are not in a routine, every day is a battle. Especially moms, like y'all are like rock star ninjas. I don't know how she does it most of the time, because I get in there for like 2 hours and I'm like, but she does it so gracefully. So I understand, like it's I just know for us,
I'm graceful on the
that
outside.
when we are the most successful is when we are the most disciplined to the routine that we set. When we're not as disciplined, our number of listing drops, our sales drops.
Honestly, right now the hardest part is waking up on time. So that, because when you don't wake up on time, and it's so hard, because you're like, you don't have any place to report to. But it gets really hard.
Yeah. What's going on, Reverend Resell?
I really like this. Sarah, you got some really good feedback on some of these resellers here, and I can vouch for them. They're pretty decent. They do a good job. Let's see, Shamrock Pixie, she and Tommy, they do a lot of really good reselling stuff, and she says you have to know your stuff real well for diamonds and stones. Have to keep yourself up to date with the new stuff. There are a lot of man-made stuff that people will try to say is real, and that is I do know that. And then Lisa, she says she'd only do it if you had a gem tester. Then you're also thinking, are you buying these online where you can't touch them and hold them first, or test them yourself first? So I don't know. But she also says that she's with Joe, concentrating on needs, not wants as much, and playing wait and see on collectibles right now. So I guess we're, you know, if you're asking for opinions.
I know for me early on in reselling, not in reselling, I guess so in reselling, and even in liquidation, I would get caught up in the potential that I would see their manufactured retail, like all these liquidators, they give you like, it's just $10,000 in retail, that I would get so many times, I would get sucked into the potential. And, you know, if we're not careful, our mindsets anyways are like, man, this next thing could be my big break. This next thing could be the thing that gets me out of my position. It's almost like that lottery type mentality where it's this next thing is gonna change things for me. And when we do so, we get to where we're making decisions based off of emotions and not strategy. So we tell people all the time, like, you got to have a sourcing strategy. You have to, like, how many items a week that you're wanting to purchase, at what's the MSRP, what's the average sell price that you're looking for, what type of items are you wanting to sell, and then go after those items. And then the other items, just stay away from those. The more that you can get focused on your strategy and buy those things, the more powerful you're going to be and the more confident you will become in those buying decisions than buying all kinds of random stuff that might give you a good potential. And it could be a good opportunity, but having that sort of sourcing strategy, in my opinion, will help and will keep you in your lane and keep you from buying based off of opportunity. So
let's see, where we at? We said hey to Reverend Resale, Landshark Picker. How are you? It's been a while. I feel like it's been a while. I hope you're doing well. And then NYC Life just stopped by to say hi. Got a truckload of tools last week, so going through them and getting ready to list. Got a hell of a deal, 12,000. Whoa, it almost fell off. What does that say? Where am I at?
100K MSRP.
I lost it.
So,
okay.
So 12,000 for probably $60,000 in revenue. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that is a great
Good
deal.
luck to you.
Yeah, but a lot of work.
I wonder, like, you'd have to test all that, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Good on you though. That's
Yeah.
a good deal.
So we got about 10 minutes left before we're going to cut it out. If anybody has any questions, put them down in the chat. And
did y'all notice my hair isn't purple anymore?
Yep.
I don't know if y'all noticed that.
My hair is cut.
I dyed it. Well, I dyed it and then left some of the tips purple. And the purple, I need to retouch this up after I did it. So I have a little bit of purple, and then I have my loctician, somebody who does she maintenances my dreads to make sure they, you know, look decent. She's making me some fake ones in different colors, so I'll have those in here shortly too. So pretty excited. I know y'all liked the purple, but I wanted to swim with my babies.
When the pools open up.
Yeah.
Craftsman always sells well, Rev.
Yep.
What's the most amount of money that we've made in a month? How much revenue or how much profit? I think our highest grossing month ever was $40,000. That was the year we did $397,000. And we quickly realized that year that we don't want to do that much in sales again because it was more work than what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
With more revenue comes more problems, more staff, and we want a simple life. We don't want a complicated life. Like, we're not the channel for like the grand sales numbers. We're the sales channel, the YouTube channel for, you know, staying true to inspire you to follow your dreams, whatever your dreams are. and a little bit of
I'm
entertainment.
not opposed
along
to
the
a little
way.
bit of growth, though.
Yeah.
Like I'm not opposed to a little bit of growth, but I'm not trying. I guess I'm not really what I'm chasing is enough. I'm chasing for enough.
Yeah.
I'm not chasing for excess. As long as the money that I make, as long as that can sustain this lifestyle of having, you know, a homeschooling, natural living life where, you know, we're connected to our community and to our family. Like, we just want to try to stay.
Yep. And before COVID-19, we were around $16,000 to $18,000 a month. Our profit margins typically are around 40 to 50%, depending upon the month. Right now, we're probably, you know, we also haven't really done a whole lot. We're probably around $12,000. No, probably $11,000 we've done this last month. Probably a little bit more because I'm thinking about all the Facebook sales. We did like 5,000 the last month on Facebook. So around 12,000, I'd probably say. But we also, you know, we haven't worked a whole lot. Like, that's not because we're not blaming everything on the economy, but we've had some inventory issues with a lot of our stuff. So that's us, you know. Yeah.
Thanks for asking about our garden, Reverend Resale.
I
That's
seen
awesome.
yours. Yeah, I was so jealous. You were picking vegetables
We
the
were
other
like,
day, and we made a mistake that we did raised beds, and we didn't make them deep enough. They needed to be like 12 inches deeper. So we got a flood like a month ago, and it almost wiped out the garden because the beds didn't drain fast enough. And then I guess 2 weeks ago or a
We also have a
week
drainage
ago
problem.
Monday, we had that tropical storm roll through Arkansas, and we got 6 inches of rain in one day, and the beds didn't drain fast enough, so we lost some plants. So instead of focusing on growing the plants, we're focusing on trying to survive. So they're not growing as fast as we'd like, but now they're looking
We
pretty
definitely
good.
got some
Yeah.
zucchini, some squash, some eggplant, some tomatoes that are starting to produce fruits.
Yeah.
But we're just a little later than everybody else. But it's a learning, like I said, it's a learn. We've never really done this before, so
Yeah.
it's a learning experience. But I'm watching all these gardeners when they're harvest, and I'm like, oh my
know,
gosh, I
can't
want it.
wait. So, but we love it. Josh Luna says, what are our thoughts about selling pallets? Instead of reselling items, you sell the pallets. My thoughts are you better have a lot of money and a lot of space because it's going to take a lot of money. One, if you want to get a contract directly from the manufacturer, you're going to have a lot of money. I'm talking about like, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars, because you're going to have to guarantee that you're going to buy so many truckloads per month. And depending upon the manufacturer, you're going to have to buy like 10 a day, depending on them. So you're going to be dealing with middlemen probably starting out. So it's just going to decrease your margins. And you're going to have a lot of overhead because you're going to have a warehouse and a lot of stuff. So instead of, like, you may buy a pallet, just using simple math purposes, you may buy a pallet for $500 and sell it for $600, where you only have a 20% profit margin. So you're going to have to be doing a whole lot of pallets a day. You're just going to have to be doing a lot of selling a day, and can get very expensive. So if you have time, space, and money, then go for it. But it's, I know very early on, I was like, ooh, we can do this, and then we can just start buying the pallets. But the more I got involved, or we can start selling pallets, I should say. And, you know, for us, there's not a big demographic of people to do this. We would be, if we started selling pallets, we'd have to do only pallets. We wouldn't be breaking them down, because we would be creating a lot of competition for ourselves in such a small area, and we're not willing to do that. But in your area, if you have an area that has a good market for it.
I mean, he's from California.
Yeah. And
Congratulations on becoming a pallet flipper, though.
Yeah.
Good on you. That's awesome.
Yep. So awesome, Dina Designs. I know you commented on some videos. We appreciate you so much for watching, and it's exciting. We appreciate. We've had a lot of new subscribers the last month.
That's kind of cool to get to know people.
Yeah, I think we've gained over 600 on the last month, which is exciting. So we're excited about it. It's
I just
kind of
got
neat.
it. I just got it, Shannon. I just saw it come down on my phone.
And Rackham says leaving job, 20 years full-time around September of this year, not married. My health concern is health insurance. Any tips on health insurance or just reselling related? You know, I think that's a broad question. And I would say tips. One, create a sourcing strategy. Figure out how much money you're wanting to make.
He means about insurance.
Insurance.
I think
the marketplace. Create an LLC, and you can get insurance through the marketplace, probably cheaper as a business than as an individual. So if it's a different tips on insurance, or if it's a different question, if it's on reselling or
I think he wants to know
clarify.
if you need. What he's saying is if you're asking for health insurance, create an LLC and then get insurance through your business.
Yes.
If you're asking for tips for something else, then let us know.
Yes, because that's a large question. So yes, but in case somebody is wondering about you know, where to get started, that I would say create a sourcing strategy. How much money do you want to make? How much time do you want to work? And then with that, create a sourcing strategy that fits into the amount of space that you have, and then go from there.
Let's see. But decent question, pretty good question.
Yeah.
For sure. Not a lot of people ask about insurance. That's important. Let's see. Stacy, does the liquidation company you use do cases too? Which one? Liquidation.com?
They do lots also. I mean, when you buy lots, the margins are going to be smaller. You're not going to make as much percentage-wise, just because when you start buying in smaller lots, it gets more expensive. But you can buy lots through liquidation.com, through bstock.com. If you're going to do through bstock, then you're going to have a reseller's license that you can get from your state. I know Bulk does lots, small lots, simple lots, Wholesale Ninja. They all do lots also.
We haven't used all of those.
No.
But we've heard good things about them. So do your research. Make sure you know exactly what is expected before you start purchasing from them, because we don't actually have personal experience to give you for that. So let's see.
EDX Gamer.
EDX Gamer, are you guys planning on opening up your own store?
It's in the back of our minds.
It's not something that, like I said, we are trying to live a simple life. If it fits into if it comes, I mean, we're opportunists. We're never going to turn down a really good opportunity. That being said, every now and then we are keeping, in our general area, we're keeping an eye on warehouses and storefronts in our area. When we drive by and we see something for lease, we are in the back of our heads looking to make sure it has a bay door. I mean, like, it's crazy. It's like, we're always looking for opportunity.
Yeah.
We did actually look at a warehouse recently and decided against it because we didn't think it fit in with, and that's the thing. Like, I know y'all, for those of you who've been with us for a long time, Joe and I beat this into y'all so much about your why. Why are you doing things? And the reason why we do that is because we have a why and we've ignored it before, and we know where that takes you.
Yeah.
And we know that I don't ever desire for you guys to make these huge leaps of faith with liquidation and go and do something and then find yourself just as miserable as you were before, because it never solved your problem. It's just a different environment in which your problem exists now.
Yep.
So one of the things that, and we know what that feels like because we've done it before, because we've said, oh, this is a great opportunity, this is a great deal, let's go ahead and do it, realizing that we're giving up all the things that we wanted to begin with. If your desire and your dream is to grow and to be huge and to have this huge business, then the decisions that you make are going to be different.
Yeah. It's kind of like your GPS. That your why is your GPS. That as you're traveling throughout your business life, that your why is going to help guide you and keep you on the course that's meant for you, instead of you turning right when you're supposed to be going straight, and your GPS is like rerouting. And I don't know for you, if you notice, like when your GPS when you don't do what's expected and you do something different than what your GPS tells you to do, it takes a minute for your GPS to recalibrate and get caught up. So a lot of times, the stronger your why, the least amount of time you're going to be stuck in that place where you made the wrong decision and you don't know it. But the stronger why that you have, the louder your recalibrating is going to be. So
I know we talk about that a lot, and we haven't for a while, but I know a lot of times we hear about that and we're just like, people are just like, groan, you know, like they're talking about this again. But I know it can be really like dull, because it's really more exciting to talk about, you know, pallets and liquidation and stuff like that. But if you really,
that stuff's more important.
If you really are trying to find your dream, then all the other stuff falls into place. If you know your why, if you know like really what you're going for, then all the other questions, you'll figure them out as you go along. You just don't want to find yourself out in the desert and just as miserable as you were before you left your job or before you took the leap of faith and thinking, well, I failed. But you didn't fail. You just lost sight of what you were doing it for.
You only fail when you quit. Every other thing is a learning thing. And then also, like, about the store, like, it's not the right time. Like, right now is not the right time to get a brick and mortar and be locked into a lease when we don't know how things are going to be 6 months from now. Like, we agreed to reevaluate in January. Once January comes around, kind of reevaluate the climate and see what's going on. So
let's see where we at.
In Rackham, we're not accountants, so I advise anybody, good point, is that with any decision, talk to your accountant or get an accountant, talk to somebody, because you know, they're like trained to do that kind of thing.
I don't know.
They kind of go to school for it.
I don't know.
And it's best.
I don't want to give anybody the wrong advice for something like that. Like I said, it's another one of those points. It's another one. There you go, Shannon. Look, an accountant. See, we got this whole little community going on. There you go. You can talk to her about it. She'll probably be able to help.
Yep.
So yeah. Okay. Stacy, we're all newbies. We're all newbies. So welcome to the group. Welcome to the community. We're always the family. We're here to help. My email. You got my email address. So if you have any questions, let us know. You know. So welcome. EDX Gamer, are we inspired by anybody? Like reseller wise or just in general? Because I'm trying to think, like reseller wise.
Inspire, that's a big word.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
I don't think so. I can speak for me. There's intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation that comes from outside and from inside.
When I think inspired, though, I really don't think about what somebody does. I think about their character while they do it.
Gotcha.
So, like, for me, it's like, reseller-wise, I love our reselling community, and there's nobody, I don't want to just call people out or whatever, but, like, I love our reselling community. I think they're beautiful, wonderful people. When I think of reselling, like, because I'm very much an introspective person. I really like to, like, look at the parts of me. And when I think about that, I always think about people's responses when nobody's looking. So on YouTube, you see all these faces and you see all of this stuff that's going on, but like, what are they doing like when nobody's looking? Like, if somebody has a question, are they answering questions? Are they kind when nobody else is watching them answer those questions, or, you know, things like that. So I think about stuff like that.
Inspire. Who inspires me?
Who inspires me? And, you know, I guess this is like an obvious, maybe it's not obvious, but like, I would say like probably the most inspirational person to me right now is Jesus. Yeah. I spend a lot of time thinking about him. And
not that religious Jesus. Not that
religious Jesus.
Not the religious one that's like people are beating you over the head with scripture.
No, just having a relationship with Jesus and his reckless love for us, and how do I love people like that? Because I think that's what our world really needs. I don't know, we just got really deep, but like, I know
do that.
you might be asking about like
It
specific.
could be a
like,
very
resellers.
simple. I don't watch anybody. I don't really read any books.
I mean, yeah.
There's a couple people that I watch on YouTube. I watch Sailing Le Vagabond. It's really the only YouTube channel I watch. We have a good friend that she has a YouTube channel, Roots and Refuge, and I watch her channel. So if you're a reseller and you have a channel out there, I apologize if I don't watch y'all. I forgot where it's going because I started reading the question. But I don't watch a lot of people because I don't know. It's just I like, you know.
Here's what it is. Here's what it is. You want me to tell you what? Let me tell you. Okay, so we don't we don't watch a lot of. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, I'm like my brain just like went.
Yeah.
But like I don't want to replicate any one person. I want to see the value and the beautiful in everyone else, and then I want to learn from and glean from people. But I still want to be unapologetically me, if that makes sense. I don't want to be like anyone else. So I guess like I don't know. That's why inspired is such a word that I'm trying to, I guess, define.
That's a big word for me.
I'm trying to define internally. I don't like to just give you guys just like, you know, whatever answers. You know what I'm saying? I just want to give you guys the right answer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think I have such a strong desire to do better and be a better father, a business person, that I can look at other people as an example. Like, man, they really did that. Like, they showed some grit.
I like that.
But like, my motivation doesn't come as a response to them. My motivation doesn't come as a response of somebody giving an inspiring speech. Like, a lot of people like.
But if somebody does give an inspiring speech, I will look
I'm
inside
like,
of myself.
oh, that's cool. And I'm like, and I was fixing to say, like, a lot of people like Gary Vee. I don't like Gary Vee. Not that he's bad, but I don't know. I don't need somebody. Like, I think the fact I used to watch a lot of Gary Vee, and I liked at first that he was very blunt and straightforward and all those things. But there's a lot of things I don't agree with. Like, I don't believe in working 100 hours a week and doing all those things. Like, that's the opposite of what we believe. Like, we don't believe in doing all those things.
I do appreciate that he follows his dream.
Yes.
Because he came from very humble beginnings.
Yeah, but like if I only spent time with my kids like one day a week, like I would feel horrible. Like that I would be 70 years old or 80 years old on my deathbed. I hope it's in my 90s. Like feeling like, man, I worked all those years to build this thing for my kids, but then I missed the opportunity with my kids. But it could be very motivating. But when it's like, the thing about that is then people who find motivation or inspiration from the outside, from somebody else, is that they're always going to be looking for that next thing to motivate and inspire them. Because at some point in time, that thing will no longer inspire you or motivate you, and then you're going to be doing something else. Then it's going to be looking to somebody else, their lifestyle and what they did to motivate and inspire you, instead of coming from the inside. So I think I answered the question.
I'm looking for an iPhone charger, babe.
Okay.
Do you know where there's one?
Oh.
Because it's about to die.
Yeah, we've got just one more question.
Well, let me. Which one? Oh, okay. Heaven on Wheels. I saw there's a new TV show coming out of resellers and pallet unveilings. Are you on there or know about it? I fear that will flood the resale market even more. Where did you see that?
Yeah.
That ad? I do know about the TV show. Yes. And so, but
I think there's always that fear of like, what is it going to do?
But keep in mind also a couple of things. Number one, do you like there are so many returns and shelf pulls out there that it may be like a thing for a while, but just keep in mind we all have established businesses already. It's going to be a lot easier for us to keep going than for everyone else. And second, also, a lot of people, it's an entertainment. It's going to be an entertainment TV show. So there are a lot of people who may think about doing it, but they're going to have to do a lot of work to actually. We've all done the work.
Pallet flipping is hard. Reselling is hard. Like, I feel like it will probably bring some people into it, and they'll take their money and they'll go, and then they'll realize how hard it is. You know, that they're not going to make as much money as they thought they were. It was more work, and then they're going to stop. So like short term, probably so. Long term, I don't really see an effect.
Yeah. I mean, we are a country that is very consumeristic in nature.
Yeah.
There will always be something to sell.
Yeah.
We may have to get more creative about where we find it, a little more protective about our sources, and do a little more work on that end. But I mean, I feel like if something does happen, we'll have an influx of people trying to purchase stuff, but no one's gonna sell it. It says saw it on TV. The show starts early August, if I remember, in A&E or Discovery. I don't remember which one.
Awesome. We'll be looking for it.
All right. Oh, Shannon, not the religious Jesus. So glad I stumbled across y'all. I don't feel as alone in the resale game anymore.
I don't know. It's just, I love Jesus, and there's so many people that misrepresent Jesus out there. You know, the whole thing, like God, like free will, and anytime that somebody uses fear or manipulation to try to control your decisions or your choices, that's not Jesus. That's not Jesus. So,
does anybody else? My phone is at 10%, so it won't last very much longer. So, does anybody else have any questions or anything?
That's a long name. Heaven on Wheels. Limousines, essential businesses.
Heaven on Wheels, limousines.
Business approved. That's crazy.
Coming from a cult-style Southern Baptist church, I completely agree. Look, we got stories too, girl. We've been there. We're us too. You always can tell, you know. you can always tell. Like I know. I'm like, yep, I know. Do you guys have a set day when you do question it? I would love to set a date.
We don't trust ourselves very much.
It's not. Well,
I don't trust me.
It's not just that. It's that with COVID-19, I just don't have. I don't have a routine. I'm struggling.
Give us a month, and then we're gonna have to create a new routine.
I mean, it's just been. I mean, we've honestly been in survival mode for most of the time, just trying to get as much work done as possible. Like our kids are stir crazy because they've been home. So it's just there's just so much. I 100% want to do a set date so everybody can expect it, and we can have this, you know, weekly or bi-weekly.
In the future, we will. Yes.
Yes. So just give us some time to figure out what is going on with our lives first.
Yeah.
Like, just let us get our crap together, okay?
Yeah. Because we don't have it all together.
Yeah.
I hope y'all figure that out through our vlogs. You know, that's why we do a lot of vlogs, because we try to give a real life depiction of what it is. You know, I don't like to do a lot of, you know, how-to and tutorials. Because I don't know, one, it's good, but two, I want to share my life and answer questions the best we can, and live through my life experiences and go that way. But I also know business sense wise, like we treat YouTube as a business, we do, and then as a business YouTube, that when you only do like haul videos or, you know, how-to videos or tutorial videos, your demographic of people that you can reach is very, very small. Like it's a very small pond. But when you do a lot of entertainment-based or more entertainment-based with a lot of vlogs where you show lives and you do some tips and tricks and how-tos mixed in there, that you reach a lot wider audience, and it gives you a chance to break through to people who don't even want to resell, but they're watching it because they enjoy your life. And that's who we are trying to reach at the same time.
We want to do both, but we also know that, you know, we're going to that's why I said, like, I'm wondering how I'm going to do it. Like, if I want to do like, just do like question, answer, like Q&A like this, or if we want to do like some kind of conference call, class, something, ebook, blog, something that is geared towards people who are really serious about liquidation and do want the knowledge that we have, but also, you know, and do like how-to videos every once in a while, but also to all the people who may just want to know more about it. There's a spider on the wall. Where? Where's the spider? Do you see a spider? Does anybody else see a spider? Like, seriously, where's the spider? Because that's a peephole right there. If that's what you're thinking
in
it
the
is.
corner.
How do you see that? I'm here and I don't see that.
Well, it's got to be. I don't know which corner.
That right there. Move. That right there is a peephole. Is that what you're thinking it is? Because I'm like freaking out right now.
It's okay. It's just a little bitty spider.
Oh, I don't like it.
Well, they like my beard first. Maybe they're just trying to distract. I don't know.
Okay, let's see.
I learned from you what not to do.
Yes, that's what we want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
because some people on social media, they only put the highlights out there. And
don't do this.
Yeah.
Because we did it and it did not work out.
Yeah. So like, I'm not afraid to put my. I mean, you can see like out there, like I'm always moving stuff around. I make these big messes, and then I have to clean up stuff, and I make bigger messes. So like that's something I always do, and so I don't try to put on this facade of this well put together life.
Well, we're not.
Yeah, that would be a lie.
We're not.
And I couldn't. I
and
couldn't
that's
live
too much
myself if I
work.
did that.
No, it's just too much work to be perfect.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Any other questions out there? Speeding? Like, it's been a long time since. What does this have to do with reselling?
Hey, you know, like speeding.
It's been a long time since I've been caught speeding because I don't speed anymore. I'm almost 40. I'll be 40 next month. And I generally go like, I have to force myself to set the cruise control to do the speed limit. So,
all right. Thanks,
yeah.
Shannon. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. We'll respond back and send you our information.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I guess that's about it. Yes, because my phone is about to die. If no one has any reselling or liquidation, I guess, based questions, I guess we did say that we could ask whatever question. You could ask whatever questions. So I guess that was appropriate. Anyways, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, listen, can y'all teach me how to get off a live video appropriately? Like without giving, no.
Yeah.
No.
Hello, Rick.
Hello.
You're welcome, Sierra. Thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you. I don't know how to, I'm always really awkward when it comes to this part. So I thank you guys. I love you guys. Email me anytime. We're going to get our lives together. We're going to start doing these more often. We will. I have high hopes.
We have hopes one day to attain this life, having said life together. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, just comment below if you have any other questions and we'll get back to you.
Just say goodbye, Rick says.
I'm sorry, Rick. I'm trying.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.